The Critics' Choice Awards 2026 became a defining night for Hollywood, a night that didn't just hand out trophies, but exposed the emotional pulse, ambition, rivalries, and shifting power inside the entertainment industry. This ceremony felt less like a celebration and more like a reckoning. Every win, every speech, and every reaction revealed something deeper about where film and television are headed and what the industry is quietly fighting over behind the scenes. One title rose above everything else and reshaped the conversation instantly, one battle after another. From the moment its name echoed through the auditorium as Best Picture, the tone of the entire award season changed. This wasn't a polite victory or a safe consensus pick. It was a statement, a declaration that bold storytelling still matters, and that critics are willing to rally behind films that challenge comfort zones rather than soothe them. The energy in the room before the ceremony even began was unmistakable. There was tension, anticipation, and a sense that something unpredictable was about to unfold. Industry insiders had been whispering for weeks that this year's Critics' Choice Awards could redraw the awards map entirely. The nominations alone hinted at a looming clash: prestige filmmakers versus genre disruptors, established legends versus rising stars, safe bets versus creative risks. And as the night unfolded, those whispers proved accurate. This ceremony refused to follow tradition. It leaned into discomfort, rewarded courage, and delivered moments that will be replayed and debated for years. When one battle after another was announced as Best Picture, the reaction was immediate and visceral. Some applauded instantly, others seemed stunned, and a few appeared visibly emotional. The standing ovation that followed wasn't ceremonial, it felt earned. The film's story, layered and confrontational, struck a nerve with critics who have grown increasingly frustrated with formula-driven cinema. Its exploration of power, media manipulation, moral ambiguity, and personal responsibility felt uncomfortably timely in a world grappling with misinformation, polarization, and accountability. That relevance gave the win an added gravity, making it feel less like an award and more like a cultural acknowledgement. The film didn't just win, it dominated the narrative of the entire night. Conversations in the room, reactions online, and post-show commentary all circled back to the same conclusion. This was the kind of film critics have been waiting to champion. It reminded audiences that cinema can still provoke thought rather than simply entertain, and that complexity is not a liability, but a strength. Paul Thomas Anderson's presence loomed over the ceremony in a way few filmmakers managed to achieve. Winning Best Director and Best Adapted Screenplay alongside Best Picture turned the night into a personal milestone for him. But what resonated most wasn't the sweep, it was his vulnerability. On stage, he didn't project triumph, he projected honesty. He spoke openly about self-doubt, about questioning whether audiences still want films that demand patience, reflection, and emotional investment. In an era driven by instant metrics and algorithmic success, those words hit hard. As he spoke, social media lit up with praise. Viewers described the speech as refreshing, human, and deeply relatable. Many filmmakers and creatives admitted they felt seen in that moment. In an era where acceptance speeches often feel polished and brand safe, Anderson's willingness to acknowledge uncertainty became one of the night's most defining moments. It reminded everyone that behind every acclaimed film is an artist wrestling with fear, relevance, and the passage of time. The emotional intensity only escalated when the acting awards began. Best Actor went to Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, and although many had predicted his win, the moment still landed with tremendous force. His performance was described as fearless, physically demanding, emotionally raw, and completely immersive. He abandoned the polished image audiences had grown accustomed to and leaned fully into a darker, more volatile character. Critics praised the role as a turning point, proof that Chalamet is no longer just a rising star, but an actor willing to take genuine risks. When he stepped onto the stage, the atmosphere shifted instantly. His speech balanced gratitude with introspection, but it was his personal acknowledgement of Kylie Jenner that sent shockwaves across the internet. Calling her his foundation during a turbulent period of filming transformed the speech into a cultural flashpoint. Within minutes, the moment was everywhere, debated, praised, criticized, and dissected word by word. Fans called it brave and heartfelt, while others questioned the blending of personal life and professional recognition. Either way, it dominated headlines. Beyond the viral moment, Chalamet used his platform to address the crushing expectations placed on young actors. He spoke candidly about how fame can distort identity, about the pressure to evolve creatively while remaining familiar to audiences. His honesty resonated deeply, especially with younger viewers navigating similar pressures in their own lives. It wasn't just a victory speech, it was a confession, and that authenticity turned the moment into something far more meaningful than a trophy. Best Actress brought the ceremony to a quieter, more intimate emotional peak. Jessie Buckley's win for Hamnet stunned many viewers, not because her performance lacked merit, but because the category was so fiercely competitive. Her portrayal of grief was restrained, internal, and devastatingly real. Rather than relying on dramatic monologues, she conveyed loss through silence, body language, and emotional stillness. It was a performance that trusted the audience to feel rather than be told, and critics rewarded that trust. Her reaction on stage said everything. Shocked, overwhelmed, and visibly emotional, Buckley delivered a speech that felt more like a whisper than a proclamation. She spoke about grief as something that doesn't always announce itself loudly, but lingers quietly, reshaping lives in subtle ways. That single sentiment resonated across social media, with many calling it one of the most beautiful and poignant moments of the night. The supporting categories added layers of surprise, redemption, and transformation. Jacob Elordi's win for Frankenstein marked a major shift in how the industry views him. Once pigeonholed into roles that leaned heavily on physical presence, Elordi shattered expectations with a performance defined by restraint, vulnerability, and emotional nuance. Playing the creature required him to communicate pain, isolation, and longing without relying on dialogue, a risky choice that paid off in a big way. His acceptance speech reflected that vulnerability. He admitted to being terrified of taking on such an iconic role, worried about being dismissed or misunderstood. The applause that followed felt like collective validation. Viewers at home echoed that sentiment, flooding social media with praise and calling his win one of the most satisfying moments of the entire ceremony. Amy Madigan's Best Supporting Actress win for Weapons carried a different emotional weight. It was a celebration of longevity, perseverance, and quiet excellence. Her performance had been praised consistently throughout the season, but the win felt especially meaningful in an industry that often prioritizes novelty over experience. Her speech was warm, reflective, and deeply grateful, emphasizing the joy of still discovering new layers of her craft decades into her career. Another defining force of the night was Sinners, a film that boldly blurred genre boundaries. Entering the ceremony with an overwhelming number of nominations, it left with multiple wins across writing, music, casting, and ensemble categories. Its success reinforced a powerful message. Genre films can be intellectually ambitious, emotionally rich, and critically respected when executed with intention and depth. The Best Young Actor win for Miles Caton added yet another emotional layer to the evening. His speech revealed the pressures of sudden visibility and the fear of being reduced to a fleeting moment rather than a lasting career. His vulnerability resonated strongly with audiences, many of whom praised the Critics' Choice Awards for recognizing emerging talent instead of waiting years to validate it. On the technical side, Frankenstein continued its impressive showing. Wins in production design, costume design, and hair and makeup celebrated the film's immersive world building. These awards served as a reminder that storytelling lives not only in scripts and performances, but in textures, lighting, atmosphere, and visual detail, the invisible work that shapes how stories are felt. Television categories reflected the shifting dominance of serialized storytelling. Adolescence emerged as the defining limited series of the year, sweeping major awards and sparking intense emotional reactions. Its unfiltered portrayal of trauma, accountability, and consequence challenged viewers and critics alike, with many calling it one of the most difficult yet necessary shows of the year. Drama television saw The Pitt claim Best Drama Series, with Noah Wile's win reinforcing the power of long-form character development. His speech highlighted how television allows actors to inhabit characters over time, creating emotional connections that evolve rather than resolve quickly. That comment reignited ongoing debates about whether television has surpassed film as the most influential storytelling medium of the modern era. Comedy brought balance and relief to the evening. The studio won Best Comedy Series, with Seth Rogen and Ike Barinholtz delivering speeches filled with humor, honesty, and self-awareness. They poked fun at industry chaos while celebrating collaboration, reminding audiences that comedy, when done well, can be just as meaningful and insightful as drama. Animated and international categories further emphasized the global nature of entertainment today. Long-running animated series proved their cultural staying power, while international productions showcased storytelling that transcends language and borders. These wins reinforced the idea that great stories resonate universally, regardless of origin. Not all moments were celebratory. Jimmy Kimmel's acceptance speech for Best Talk Show sparked immediate controversy after an unexpected comment divided audiences. Whether it was satire or sincerity became a heated debate almost instantly, proving once again that award shows are no longer just entertainment. They are cultural flashpoints where every word carries weight. By the time the ceremony ended, it was clear that Critics' Choice Awards 2026 wasn't just another stop on the awards circuit. It was a turning point. It celebrated artistic risk, rewarded vulnerability, and challenged traditional definitions of success. One battle after another didn't just win, it symbolized a broader shift towards bold, uncompromising storytelling that dares audiences to engage rather than consume. As award season continues, the ripple effects of this night will only grow stronger. These wins will influence campaigns, shape narratives, and define careers. And for audiences watching from home, it offered something rare, an award show that felt alive, unpredictable, and deeply human. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.